Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, Mike Detillier here, HTV. We with Kevin Mawae, Pro Football Hall of Famer here at the Louisiana Line Camp. And I know, Kevin, this is sort of special for you because one of your mentors, Kenny Farrow, he was one of the originators here along with Pete, Jesse Daigle. But, Kenny's meant so much to your career.
He really did. He meant a lot to me. He was the first coach that ever told me that I had what it takes to play at the next level. I knew in my heart I did, but for him to confirm that to me was something special. And he's special in my life. And for him to start this and for me now to be a bigger part of it, it's something that I want to be a part of until then. It's like continuing the legacy that he started. And so it's neat to be around this. I sent him and Miss Karen a picture of our guys that we hang out with, and they're excited about it. And but yeah, it's important that we continue the legacy of teaching fundamental football to high school kids so that they understand it's not about what they see on TV, it's about the ABCs of playing offense and defensive line.
So now you're getting at an age, see, I passed it already. You've been borderline real well. Now his son, Bo, he's going to LSU as an offensive lineman. So, you're getting at that age where, you see the sons of people that you knew back in college.
I'm at the age now where friends are starting to have grandkids and stuff. But to have somebody like Bo, I know he was out here 3 years ago, and he was this tall, skinny kid from down here, and then he just sprouted up. I saw him during LSU spring ball, and he's what everybody thought he was going to be. And so he helped hone his skills in this camp and got better. And so now hopefully he can carry that to LSU and build upon the tools that he learned here. But it's neat to watch these kids because some of them are going to go to big colleges. Some of them come from schools like Nichols and Southeast and Northwestern. And
some of them it ends.
And some of it ends, but they'll always remember what they learned at this camp. And many of these kids come back to the camp with their kids, or some of them are even coaching the camp now that they actually went to when they were in high school. And so people understand the importance of this and understand, the culture that we're developing here, what's important. And there's people all of us, we're getting kids from out of state that are being told by somebody else that knows us that you need to go to Nichols, you need to go to the Louisiana Line Camp. And then we're getting kids like that. This camp is the largest, if not one of the largest O-line camps and defensive line camps in the country, and people come here and see it and they're amazed about what we do here because it's not a competition camp. We're not doing one-on-ones and bull rush and stuff like that. We're doing fundamental techniques on both sides of the ball that are going to make these kids better players for themselves.
Also, this isn't a recruiting camp, okay, because they got a ton of those camps. This is all about techniques and winning in the trenches. And, okay, it's great to have the super quarterback and the big-time receiver. But if you don't win in the trenches, you're not winning anything.
No, you can have guys throw the ball all over the field, but if you can't protect them, then you're going to be in trouble. You have a running back that running 4.240, but if he can't get a hole open, then he's just running into a pile of bodies. And but our guys know on both sides of the ball, your job is to serve everybody else. The defensive line, keep guys off the linebackers so DBs can make the plays. Now, the defense guys want to be prima donna sometimes and go after and rush the edges, but particularly on the offensive line, they know that their job is to make everybody else shine. And they take that in. They endear themselves to that. We're servants and we're leaders and we're protectors. And they love it. It's what's neat watching groups of high school teammates come together and take pride in what they're doing here. And that pride and that camaraderie is going to go into training camp for them and hopefully make them a better team throughout the season.
And it's their first real job in life, too. You think about it, okay, you got to be on time, you got to listen, you got to learn, then work with others. Yep. Okay, it's your first real job. Okay, you're not going to work by yourself in life. You're not going to be secluded in a house. You have to learn to work with others, take orders, everything else. And I think that's what's great about these camps. Guys like you, and they admire the fact that they know who you are and what you've done. It didn't come easy, okay? It took a lot of hard work and grit.
It hurts. It's not pleasurable. We were in 100-degree temperatures, 118 index yesterday, and you got to come out here and you got to put it on the field. And your teammates are counting you. You get better because we want to win the championship next year. You don't leave a guy in the dorm room by himself. You never leave a guy behind. You make sure your buddies are coming with you. And there are things that just are in life general things that the game of football teaches, no matter what. Teamwork, accountability, pride, excellence, hard work, dedication, commitment, all those things that you would expect in the real world, they learn those things at places like this, and particularly in the game of football.
Okay, I'll finish it up with this. Father was in the service, so you became an Army brat. You moved around. But you were telling us a story at 8 years old. This is what you wanted to be a pro player.
I knew at 8 years old. I went to football practice in Hanau, Germany. We were stationed in Hanau, Germany, and my mom's boss was my coach, and she said, "You're gonna play football." All right, cool. This is awesome. So we went, came back from practice. She said, "How was?" She said, "I'm playing in the NFL. I'm gonna play in the NFL one day," and that's all I ever wanted to do. And I made the comment during my induction process, like, I never had a plan B. My plan A was to be an NFL football player, and I prepared myself. I took care of my classroom and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to play football for a living. It was a passion of mine, and it still is. And now I'm carrying that passion over into being a coach, and I want to try to be, and my goal is to be as good as a coach as I was a player. And it starts by learning and starting all over again. Just because I played doesn't mean that, you don't expect to be the best coach in the world. So I come out here and I learn from coaches here. I'm learning from high school coaches. I'm learning from college coaches. And my goal is to be a great coach one day. And it started with a passion when I was 8 years old.
And Kevin, we really appreciate it. We thank you so much. Working with the Colts now, and so to come here, it's basically sort of the end of summer and almost start of the new season.
Right around the corner. No. This is the end of the training camp sessions. But I'm gonna. I got 3 or 4 more weeks. I'm gonna enjoy every one of those days I have off, because once the season hits, it's gonna be a grind. And but it's one I'm looking forward to. Well, we've made some changes on our roster with the Colts. Excited about that. We got the best running back in the NFL. So I'm excited about what's going to happen, but no, I'm not eager to get to training camp. I'm going to take this one day at a time for sure.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure being here. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks. You. Appreciate it, bud.